Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Sagittarius. And for this round of 12 zodiac sign readings, we're going to do this 10 card spread again. And then we're going to also get cards from the Intuit deck to see what they want to add. And at the end, we're going to see what a potential outcome of what might be coming up that people might not see coming. Depending on if they harness high vibe Sagittarius or a more worldly shadowy Sagittarius. Not everybody harnesses high vibe energy, which is about being illuminated to the truth. It's about having hope and faith and belief in yourself and in love and believing in your dreams. And Sagittarius is about looking at life as an adventure. Life is all about learning lessons. I'm going to learn the lessons I was meant to learn along the way. And at times, we're growing up, we're kind of more immature, prideful, defensive, selfish, We all got our shadow nature, and we've all got lessons to learn in life. And some people have learned from those life experiences to temper their more shadowy, egoic, immature, self-centered, lazy nature, to put in work and effort to heal and grow and mature themselves to their full potential. And we just see the fact that as we're moving forward in our life, some people haven't learned the same lessons that we've learned, and some people can be hurtful and unkind, and we just see the truth of it so that we don't let other people who are in kind of shadowy energy keep us in shadowy energy. We just see the truth. Some people haven't learned to be just and fair, grow up, act with character and integrity, be loving, and Sagittarius is about wrapping your brain around this game of life. And I'm not going to give up my dreams because I'm going to offer love and compassion and forgiveness to it, to myself and others, and I'm going to keep moving on. The Intuit deck, we have a card not showing itself, which is stress, and the reason it came out is because of building. Some people the stress card would be like the 8 or 9 of swords. They get up in their head, maybe get caught up in their fear and their insecurities and their pride and their ego, and we all can get in that energy. But the difference is how we go about handling it. The building card is kind of reminding me of Virgo energy. If we put in the work and effort to work through those things that cause us stress and anxiety, we can learn to, if it's things within ourselves, we can free ourselves from them. Our shadow nature is those things that manipulate us. And then we can have other people in our life that are kind of in shadowy energy. And high vibe Virgo is about seeing the truth. I'm going to see the truth of this situation. I'm going to treat people in a just and fair and loving way. If they want to work together with me in that way, okay, then we'll keep working together. If they're not, I'm going to wish them peace. And I'm going to not stay up in my head about it. People are either willing to work together with me in a just and fair and authentic and loving way, or they're not. And I'm not going to let it keep it up in my head. So, some people have done this work within themselves. And what some people don't know about some high vibe people is that the high vibe people aren't up all in their head about something anymore. Some people purposely put in a lot of work and effort to try to cause other people to be up in their head and stressed out as a way to try to manipulate them. Some other people could be hiding they're really stressed out because the way they harness their Virgo energy, regardless of what zodiac sign they are, they could be in their Sagittarius energy more motivated and inspired by the world. And that could be their coping mechanism. I have stress, I have fears, I have insecurities. I'm going to go invest in these things of the world that I think will make me happy, which could be indulging yourself in things of the world, indulging your more immature nature, getting in relationships just to feel better, drinking, drugs, eating, booze, gambling, Have we seen the truth of what just kind of puts more snakes into our pit? As human beings, we have our shadow nature. We've all kind of got some snakes in our pit with us. Are we going to dump more in? And we have those lessons to learn in life. Some people keep doing things that cause more and more turmoil in their life, but they're unwilling to see the truth. High vibe Virgo is about seeing the truth. Are we willing to put in the work and effort to figure out why we do what we do? What drives and motivates me? Why do I take the actions that I take in my life? So, the overarching reason for the reading is the Four Swords. High vibe people, we've all been hurt before. Things didn't work out the way we wanted. High vibe people meditated on the truth of it. How did I contribute to things not working out the way I wanted? Where do I need to heal and grow and mature myself and temper my worldly egoic nature and heal from past pain and heartbreak so I don't keep acting like that or thinking like that or feeling like that? I'm going to treat myself with the truth, love, and compassion, forgiveness so I can heal. The only person I can change is me. I can want other people to heal, but we can always know some other people that when they experience pain and heartbreak, they might want to feel better, heal the situation, but instead of dealing with the truth, it's more like, I have an idea. This is what I'm going to go do. And, we just got lessons learned. Some people's vices and how to handle things that cause them conflict between their heart and their mind or dealing with pain and heartbreak, they don't want to deal with the truth, either about things within themselves or about other things in the world and other people in their life that can manipulate them. And they may kind of handle things in a more immature way just because they haven't learned those lessons yet. The Four of Swords is Libra energy. We've all dealt with people who we thought Libra energy is represented by the scales of justice. We've all dealt with people that we thought would be more just and fair and balanced, and then we could have found out they weren't. And shadowy energy can be people trying to create an illusion about who they are. And they're not as inspired by love as they present themselves to be. They're not as balanced as they present themselves to be. Maybe not have the same idea of what's just and fair as we might have an idea of what's just and fair. So we got to deal with all these different people in the world. What's going on in Sagittarius energy? We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Wands, which I view as Sagittarius energy. The Knight of Pentacles in Pisces energy can be emotionally what we think would be emotionally fulfilling. Our idea of the dream life. And some people's idea of the dream life is to be immature. Some people have no interest in growing up. I want to make it more about me. I like being immature. I don't want to have to grow up. I don't want to have to take on more responsibility. And some people who indulge their more immature nature, shadowy Pisces that anyone can harness, can be people who kind of have these illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. They've justified to themselves, I think it's just and fair for me to indulge my more immature nature. And then they kind of have this illusion that other people should indulge them in their poor behavior. If we look back at our life, what were some of the things we were doing in our life and how we lived life when we were 15, 18, 21, 25? We all justified living our life the way we were living it. And if other people weren't living their life like the way we were living it, it was like, oh, what's wrong with those people? Why are they acting that way? Why aren't they doing what I'm doing, And so some people continue to do that in their life, and we all kind of do. We all live our life the way we view our life, the way we want to live it, and we can't understand why other people don't want to live their life the way we live life, So everybody is wanting to kind of move forward with what they think is just and fair, that they think will be emotionally fulfilling. It's just that, we have to see the truth that some people are kind of immature and they do kind of have these illusions about relationships and what they think is just and fair, and other people don't think that's just and fair. And some people do think they should be indulged. Other people don't think they should be indulged in poor behavior, but some people do. But everybody's going to go try to find people to be in relationships with. The shadowy people are either going to try to manipulate a high vibe, a more emotionally mature, loving person to get in a relationship with them, or they might try to find someone who they think is on the same page as them. It kind of just depends on what drives and motivates them. If they're more, Libra energy can be people's kind of public politician persona. There's some people in the world who, here we have moving forward in the Eight of Wands as a King of Wands. Some people are kind of full of themselves and they think people should want to be in a relationship with them, and they go try to get people to be in a relationship with them, and then hoping those people are going to indulge them in their poor behavior. They're motivated and inspired to maybe be more about themselves, because I view the King of Wands as Aries energy, and Aries energy is about the self, and anybody can harness a more immature, worldly, shadowy Aries energy. High vibe people are motivated in Aries energy by truth and love. So, again, some people are a little bit more about themselves, a little bit more operating in shadowy Leo energy from their ego. They want to go get in a relationship, want to go and look like they've had new beginnings, like they've moved on, that they've healed. If you've ever known some people that you work with or have dated, and they're kind of immature, and maybe something doesn't work out in that relationship with the death card or that job, well, they're defensive because people weren't willing to keep indulging them in their poor behavior. And some of these people just do not have a clue. They totally are in denial that they're bossy, they're controlling, they're egotistical, they're shallow, they're superficial, they're intimidating, they're controlling, whatever their issue is. Some of those people are completely not wanting to see the truth. And some of them are quite full of themselves, and they don't understand. In the Seven of Cups, I'm confused. Why did they end this relationship? Gemini, I'm this person with these certain traits, qualities, characteristics, and assets. People should want to be in a relationship with me. And then they're confused when a relationship ends. And because they're not inspired to illuminate the truth, they keep going back out there again, having no idea why things didn't work out. I'm not bossy, I'm not controlling, I'm not superficial and shallow, I'm not intimidating and controlling, and they maybe just don't see it, And until they go through a lot more life experiences, at the end here we have the Temperance card, which is like a universe card. The universe is patient with everyone because everybody's on their own journey. Everybody's got their own issues to deal with. The divine is like there with everyone to try to be there to help them balance out their emotions. But human beings have free will. We can choose to deal with the truth, or we can choose to keep staying in denial of the truth. No, I'm going to keep moving forward just the way I've been moving forward, which is like in death energy. They haven't healed, grown, or matured, viewed life differently. How they view other people, they haven't viewed differently. How they view themselves hasn't changed. Nothing has changed. Shadowy energy can be people aren't giving birth to anything new. They keep repeating an old pattern over and over and over. And they keep defending their illusions. We're either willing to see the truth and kind of heal and grow up and mature ourselves, or we're not. And some people just balance out their emotions about the fact that I am more about myself. It is supposed to be more about me. I do think that's just and fair. And then when they get in relationships with other people, in the death card, they try to stop those people from having good boundaries within themselves and believing in their dreams, because they don't want to really be in a relationship that's where they have to detach from those old ways of being. But they could get in relationships with people who are loving and encouraging, harness these energies in a high vibe way. Everybody likes to be in relationships with people who are loving and encouraging and supportive and balanced, so you're not going to act out of like pride and ego and be manipulative and bossy and controlling. Perfect. I'll get in a relationship with you, because we really can only handle one of us being like that. And I could find you attractive. You could be attracted to me. Perfect. Let's move forward in a relationship. But while we're in this relationship, I am maybe going to take some action to stop you from kind of loving and believing in yourself, because I don't want to change and transform my life. I don't want to move forward with people who really have good boundaries. And the Seven of Cups, like the Death card, is Scorpio energy, which is, I don't want to do deep, meaningful relationships. I don't want to explore the mysteries of life emotionally. I kind of like to play on in the shallow end. I kind of like to indulge myself in a relationship. And I like other people to indulge me in a relationship, because I'm defensive to my more emotionally intuitive, loving nature. If I were to go into the shallow end, I could get hurt. I don't want to go there. But I want to move forward with you in a relationship because you're loving and nurturing and you have good boundaries within yourself to be a loving and nurturing person. I want to be in a relationship with you, but that's not the truth of... I want to move forward with you in a relationship where you don't require me to align with my more self-disciplined, emotionally mature, treating other people the way I like to be treated, being authentic and loving, and more just and fair. But I want to move forward with you in a relationship. And people get in those relationships with people, and everybody can want this dream, kind of the way they're thinking, the way it's going to turn out. They have this dream. This is what I want to manifest. I'm going to put work and effort to try to manifest this dream into reality. But as the high vibe people move forward, it's just like, they're detaching. They're trying to get the other people to detach, either from the past, from their more immature nature, their self-indulgent nature, something. Maybe being very patient is what the Temperance card can talk about. But eventually, you're moving forward, trying to take action, being loving, high vibe Leo, being loving, being authentic, being just, being fair, high vibe Aries, being motivated and inspired, Sagittarius, motivated and inspired to move this dream into reality. But as one person is doing that, the other people, you start to realize they seem to be defensive to that. It never gets to be where they have better boundaries within themselves. And then we're kind of confused because, I thought we were on the same page. I thought we were both going to put in work and effort in truth and love to bring this dream into reality and move forward in this way. And the other person's like, I was kind of hiding. I'm up in my head about love. And I'm defensive to deep, meaningful relationships. I want to stay in the relationship maybe, but I'd rather focus maybe on money and materialism and status and image and my ego. And how about you put in the work and effort to make it a just and fair and balanced and loving and creative, inspired relationship? And that's when people kind of are like, wait a minute, And the 9s and the 10s, there's a maximum of 10 in every suit. This is the 9. We can move forward in a certain way of life or a job or whatever it is. But we kind of like, again, 2 cards of Sagittarius or 3 cards of Sagittarius energy. Life's about learning lessons and, seeing the truth, and it's not supposed to be all about you, and it's supposed to be about treating other people the way you like to be treated and being just and fair. And, we learn those lessons as we go, and then we do detach from some of the things that we see aren't conducive to the dream coming into reality, and we have to be willing to emotionally detach from our more immature ways of being. Which makes me think of that Bible verse, when I was a child, I thought like a child, I spoke like a child, but when I grew up, I put away my childish ways. Just like we did, age 15 going to 18, we detach from being more like a 15-year-old to be more like an 18-year-old. And I think we're supposed to do that process throughout our life, but some people are very inspired to don't like feeling like they're being immature, you know, kind of want to quit being manipulated by their more immature nature or their fear, or their insecurity, or their pride, or their ego. I don't like those things manipulating me. And so they do get inspired to work through those things so those things don't manipulate them anymore. Because high vibe energy is being independent of things that manipulate you and feeling more free to live your more authentic life because you don't have these things that manipulate you, that causes things not to turn out the way you want. So some people are motivated and inspired to learn those lessons, to keep shedding like old layers of themselves, to keep standing up for themselves, believing in their dreams. I don't like things manipulating me, and when I move forward in life and I start to realize things are kind of building up and I need to look at some of my fears or my insecurities or whatever, reevaluate my life, stand up for myself, stand up to my more fearful, shadowy nature, and love myself and believe in myself and keep moving forward facing my fears. But we can always have some people in our life that want to move forward with us, but they wound us because instead of being just and fair, they have an idea. I know. I'm going to take action more out of ego, which can be, I am going to try to manipulate you. I'm maybe going to not pay attention to you, not communicate with you, not take action towards you, not speak my truth, illuminate the truth of what I'm dealing with. Or I could just be stressed out because you are healing and growing and maturing yourself and learning to stand up for yourself and love yourself, where maybe when we got in the relationship, that wasn't true about you. And I kind of liked it when you were more in your more immature, shadowy energy. And now that you're kind of inspired to heal from some of those issues and detach from letting those things manipulate you, and now you do have better boundaries within yourself, and you have learned to offer yourself a cup of love to heal. It's kind of like you're not the same person that you were before. And then some people don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. Again, going back to when we were young, it's kind of like, well, I don't know, you moved out, you went and got a job, you went to college, and I'm still living like a 15-year-old. We're not on the same page. I don't want to hang out with you anymore. I want to go hang out with people who are still in this energy because I'm still in that energy. But you were inspired to work through some of those issues that you're kind of more standing up for a more maybe emotionally mature relationship. And they're not ready to be in a more emotionally mature relationship. And everybody can be sad. Everybody can be confused. Everybody, the high vibe people thought other people were going to do this work along with them, that they wanted to work through their issues. But the truth is, people can choose to align with their more worldly Virgo energy. I don't want to invest time, energy, and effort to work through those things that manipulate me. I will keep ignoring them, keep thinking they don't really affect me and the decisions I make in my life, and I'm going to stay wounded and defensive to moving forward in life differently. But can't we both ignore it? Because we could like each other and love each other. Can't we could just keep moving forward the way we've been moving forward? But, shadowy energy can be where you're trying to manipulate and control people. That can be shadowy King of Wands, shadowy Leo, shadowy Libra, shadowy Scorpio, I guess apparently shadowy Sagittarius. I don't want to move forward in life differently. I don't want you to move forward in life differently. Get back here and do this friendship, this workplace, this relationship the way we've always done it. I don't plan to step out of my comfort zone. It might feel difficult, but it's that last wand of, the Ten of Wands is feeling kind of overwhelmed, but again, being determined that there are some things that need to go. And I want to work through those things to drop the baggage and come out with that brand new Ace of Wands and move forward in life differently, not carrying that baggage. But we can't make other people do that. And when some people are moving forward and they start to feel overwhelmed and stressed and defensive, instead of working through it, it's kind of more like, screw it, I'm going to go do this instead to make myself feel better. And then the people in their life feel wounded, feel unloved. Why are those people acting like that? Why aren't they offering love to the situation? Why aren't they being more just and fair? And they end up tipping out of balance, kind of indulging, making bad decisions in their life, I'm going to try to manipulate you. I'm going to try to control you. I'm going to try to make you sad. I'm going to try to get you in your ego, get you in your competitive energy. Maybe I'll go flirt with other people. Maybe I'll spend a lot of time with other people, friends and family, like they're more the people that are more important to me than you. And eventually people can kind of put up with that for a long time. But eventually there comes a time where we can't stay in denial of the truth anymore. And we kind of realize I deserve to be in a more authentic, loving, just, fair, balanced relationship. And maybe when I first got in the relationship, maybe I did indulge people in poor behavior because I hadn't learned to stand up for myself. And that could have been the whole point of being drawn and attracted to them, because I think we're drawn and attracted to certain people because we have lessons to learn from them. And if this would have been the people in our life that finally made us stand up for ourselves and love ourselves and heal from our past pain and heartbreak and self-limiting beliefs, then it was worth it in the big scheme of things. But other times we can get drawn and attracted to people because they do seem to kind of maybe be motivated and inspired by a lot of things that we're motivated and inspired by. And as people go through the relationship, some people could realize, I thought I was willing to be more independent, but initially none of us were even kind of looking at life that way, maybe. And then when it gets to that point where people do have to become more independent, maybe step out of their comfort zone, heal or grow, or learn to have better boundaries within themselves, that's when they kind of realize, I always thought I would be willing to be that type of person, but now that working through this and it really comes down to I have to deal with the truth of some situations, or I need to end this relationship. Again, I think loving people would offer the people, try to offer love and encouragement because they love those people to try to get them to move forward with them. And if they're not, then they could be, I am standing up for what I believe in. And if you don't want to move forward with me in this way, apparently how we want to move forward and what our long-term goals are and who and what we want to invest our time, energy into is different. And they were being authentic and loving, and so it kind of wounds them more than if they were in a relationship. It can wound everybody, and we can realize people were kind of just on different pages. But if one person was someone who operates more from their defensive, egoic nature and doesn't really more authentically invest emotionally in a relationship, they could kind of think, no skin off my nose. Even if I was in a relationship with you or married you and had children with you for 10 or 20 years, I really wasn't emotionally invested in it anyway because I live more from my mind than my heart. I'll just go get in a relationship with someone else. See ya. And they'll re-go do that same thing with someone else. And some of us have known people that are like that. They just don't really authentically emotionally invest. They're more in shadowy Scorpio energy. They operate from their defensive egoic nature, self-protective nature. I don't connect in with my emotions very deeply. I kind of am more emotionally shallow and superficial. And as long as people are willing to work with me in a relationship, so long as it's good for my ego and my image, I'll keep moving forward with people. But if they ever start to have better boundaries and want me to do a more deep, meaningful relationship, sorry, I'm out of here. And then they'll try to go find someone else to repeat that pattern with. And it might be, again, to try to create the pattern like, oh no, look, I've moved on. Look, I'm not the same person I was before. Look, if I was that type of person, this new person wouldn't have gotten in a relationship with me. But shadowy Pisces that anyone can harness, some people wear a very good false mask. People could be charming, they could be attractive, they could be charismatic, they could, in Leo energy, in some way be very successful in the world where it looks like they have justice in the world, whether they're male or female. And some people are very good at putting on a show, not really living more from their mind than their heart. I'm going to present myself this way so that people view me this way, and I'll just go get in another relationship. People buy into the illusion of who I am. If any of the people start to get better boundaries and want me to heal or grow and mature myself, how dare you? I'll go find someone else to get in a relationship with. Or they just have a lot of fear about their status and their ego and their image, and that's what drives them, motivates them. And if some of those people got in a loving relationship, it's like, there's a lot of great things about this relationship, but they could lack belief in themselves, and their judgment can get clouded by their fear and their insecurity. Am I going to have the stability or the status or the image, which really is kind of more important than love? I'll end this relationship with the loving people, and I'll try to go get in a relationship with someone who maybe has those things, more of the world that I want, and they think that's just and fair. The only thing is, when we plant bad seeds, I think there are rules to this game of life, and kind of like there is gravity, but shadowy Aries that people can harness is like, oh no, I'm the boss. If I do this and this and this, and I go about this, and I act like this, and I do this, I bet I can manipulate everybody, and it will go the way I want it to go. But the death card is also a universe card. There are rules to this game of life. And when you plant bad seeds thinking you're going to have a bountiful harvest, you could for a while. There'd be a lot of people that people know in life kind of wondering, when is that person going to get their karma? Well, for one thing, them just living their life is karma. Because they're not living from their more emotionally balanced, loving, intuitive nature. They keep being in this defensive nature. It's always constantly trying to manipulate people, to have people view them a certain way. Other people get to go live their authentic life. And for these people, it's always like a job. Well, what does that person think about me? And I need to make that person view me this way. And what do these people think of me? I need to make these people view me this way. Because their whole life is this kind of, for people who live more from their mind than their heart, it's all this mental construct of trying to manipulate all these people. Can you imagine how stressful that is? Other people are just living their life, enjoying their life. But because these people aren't authentically themselves in the world, it is all this mental construct, their ego running their life, their more authentic nature looking out through the eyeballs, and they're trying to do all these things and trying to make sure, and probably because they've been wounded before, that they don't trust other people and they didn't heal. So they don't want to do love anymore, because some people, maybe when they were younger, they were trying to get someone in their life to move forward with them, being just and fair and authentic and loving, and those people weren't. But they might not want to deal with the truth of it. And so instead of listening to their intuition about different people, they end up rejecting, kind of indulging in it for a while or as long as they can, but eventually they end up pushing loving people away because of this past wounding that they could have. Well, you could have known some people that you feel really got some issues they need to deal with, but we can't make people deal with those things, and they may never deal with those things. We've all known people who are immature, bossy, controlling, egotistical, wounded, and they never work through those issues. And so long as those things manipulate them, if we're in a more involved relationship with them, those things end up manipulating us, because we kind of have to let those things be a third party in our life. High vibe people want to be in relationships where the third party is hope and faith and belief and love. And we have a dream. And if we've offered love and encouragement to people to heal and have some hope and faith and belief and love, and they're unwilling to do that, well, I've only got my one life to live. So, I can't stay living my life like this, and I need to stand up for myself. I don't want to live a life of illusion. I don't want to create like this illusion of how wonderful our life is and how just and fair and warm and loving and encouraging and supportive everybody is when they're not. But I do deserve that. That is my divine inheritance. To love is to be just and fair. This is not just and fair. And even though I would like it, I can't make other people change. They have free will. If they don't make the free will choice to choose love, then I'm sorry, I need to distance myself from you and emotionally detach from you and stand up for my loving nature that deserves to be in those type of relationships. If I'm being authentic, just, fair, loving, and encouraging, justice demands that I be in that kind of relationship. And I have to align with that within myself and stand up for myself. And then there's other people in our life as we detach from defending that job, friendship, or relationship. We're looking, once we've kind of done this work within ourselves to heal, kind of like transmute that energy, then we have more emotionally detached. And we are ready to have those new beginnings and having hope and faith and belief and realizing not everybody's the same. I've learned valuable lessons from this life experience. I will take those lessons with me. I've learned to listen to my intuition. I've learned to stand up for myself. And now I'm going to go invest and communicate with people in my world, people I meet, people currently in my life. This is how I'm moving forward. Are you on that page? Do you want to move forward with me in friendships and relationships? If not, and some of those people that you could communicate with, some of those people, they know themselves better than you could know them. And some of those people are like, wow, that'd be great, but no, that's not where I'm at. Thank you for thinking I was, but no, I gotta exit stage left because I cannot do that. That is not where I'm at. And other people will kind of be inspired to look at their life and how they're moving forward, who they're moving forward with, why they live their life the way they live it, why they hang out with certain people, why those people hang out with them, what drives and motivates everybody. And some of the people will work through whatever parts within them that could tempt them not to move forward in life, face their fears, have better boundaries within themselves, do more deep, meaningful, just, fair, balanced relationships. And the people who work through that are the people in your life that are going to keep moving forward with you in that way. And then we just kind of need to see the truth. There kind of gets to be a point where, we're kind of defensive of moving on because there's some people we communicated with. It's like, aren't you going to move forward with me and us in this way? And, if other people initially could communicate, but you kind of might wonder if some of those people kind of just wanted to indulge for a while, but they really weren't willing to be, more independent or something. And you see the truth of it and you listen to your intuition. And when your intuition tells you it's time to go, you can keep offering peace and love to people, but I'm going to keep moving forward with my life. I can't keep staying in like stagnant energy. And I'm going to keep moving forward with the people in my life that are willing to move forward with me in that way. So as you're moving forward, you could have some immature people in Pisces, Sagittarius type energy, or Libra energy, or Aries, or Leo, that might communicate with you that they want to move forward with you, that maybe they ended something and they want to be someone to have this new beginning with you. And I think, again, the wands can talk about communication, to get to know people, to find out where they're at, trying to get to the truth. What lessons have they learned? Have they been illuminated to the truth? Or are they just another kind of immature, ego, manipulative person who just wants to be the next person to indulge in a relationship with you? It's like, no thanks. I've already been there and done that. And that's when some of those people will come towards you. It's like, oh shit, you actually are aligned with your helpful, believing, loving nature. I was coming in non-life-giving energy. I was operating from ego and lust and greed and pride and ego. Oh, I have to go find someone else. Yes, you need to go find someone else. Oh, okay. And then other people will offer you the truth, are being authentic and inspired by truth and love, and they will illuminate the truth probably about the lessons they've learned in life and why they don't want to live their life like that anymore and how their life has changed and transformed. And they, like you, have been wounded by other people, but they're still willing to stand up and defend their dreams of being in deep, meaningful, authentic, loving relationships. And they want to work together with you to move forward in that way. And you'll listen to your intuition about who's who. The shadowy people, they're going to either try to find someone who's ended a relationship or a job or whatever it is, to make that person not keep moving forward and stop and see if they can emotionally confuse them about the truth of who they are. And if that person has some lessons to learn from someone like this also about listening to their intuition and loving and believing in themselves, they might get in a relationship with them until they're illuminated to the truth and have healed from some of their past pain and heartbreak, and then the same scenario will happen again. And then the people they might end up having to be with is people who are kind of more motivated and inspired by indulgence or ego, whatever it is they like to indulge in to feel better. If that's what they like to indulge in to feel better because they haven't learned to deal with their past pain and heartbreak, they'll indulge in those things together. If it's ego and image, and that's kind of the most important thing, and they're kind of defensive to being more authentic and loving in a relationship, and they've had some problems in relationships with people because of that, they might be willing to defend that relationship because they both are on the same page, or both caught up in illusion, or both try to manipulate other people to appear more inspired by love than they really are. And if they're in a relationship with someone else who likes to do that, then that is a just and fair relationship. But it's an injustice for someone who knows that they're kind of immature, bossy, controlling, immature, materialistic, more motivated, that the truth they don't get in relationships really because of truth and love. That's an injustice to try to manipulate loving people into a relationship when they know that's not their truth. So what's coming up for some people who harness some high vibe Sagittarius energy that they might not see coming? High vibe people are done defending an illusion. If they have communicated their truth in love to people, and those people are not moving towards them and revealing the truth to heal things and balance things out, then apparently we're not on the same page, and I can't keep staying in fantasy land hoping one day someone will change or grow up or mature themselves. My dreams coming into reality aren't codependent on a certain person. It's finding people who are on the same page as me. And apparently they're not, some people. What's coming up for the high vibe people? The King of Swords and the Five of Swords. Why? Because of the Six of Cups. The high vibe people were inspired to do this work to get balance within themselves. That's the King of Swords, Libra energy, represented by the Scales of Justice. And to speak their truth and stand up about their dreams. The Five of Swords is Aquarius energy. I have a dream. And they've changed. They're not the same person they were before. The Fives talk about change. And they have reconciled themselves with the past that the Six of Cups can talk about. I've come to a place of emotional peace about it. I see the truth. Everybody's where they're at. I've been where some of those people are at. And I've learned in order to have these kind of deep, meaningful relationships in the Six and Seven of Cups, I need to be in relationships with other people who've been enlightened to the truth. Other people who've changed, other people who've looked at life from a higher perspective, other people who've healed from past pain and heartbreak to reconcile themselves with the past so they can be in these deep, meaningful relationships. And as you're doing that within yourself and being in that energy and not kind of indulging in your more immature, prideful, lustful, codependent nature, other people are going to see the truth of that. And for a while, some people could have been watching you move forward in your life. Some of them could have been attracted to you, would like to be in a beginning with you, think it would be just and fair. But they didn't want to come towards you until they knew you had really emotionally detached from something else in your life. I don't want to get in a relationship with you and you still have mental conflict about a past person in your life. And you're still defensive. Until I feel like you have really moved on from that and you're not acting in these kind of more immature ways. And if I see the truth that you really are who I think you are and you aren't maybe the same person you were or you're not like some other people I know, then I will be willing to speak my truth and get in a relationship with you. And you're going to communicate your truth to people and move on in your life with people who are motivated and inspired to live life like you want to live life. What's coming up for some people who harness a little more worldly, shadowy Sagittarius energy that they might not see coming? Some people that are shadowy, they can get in relationships, but if something else comes along that tempts them in their lust or their greed or their pride or their ego, some of those people could be ending a relationship that they had been moving forward with, defending this illusion they created about how wonderful it was, because someone else came along, and if they're more materialistically motivated or they think that person would indulge them more kind of in their ego in a relationship than the people they're in a relationship with, they'll try to go get in a relationship with that person. So, and then the next person they were moving forward in a relationship will feel wounded and confused. And the thing is, eventually people start to see the truth of people regardless of how they try to present themselves in the world. eventually more people start to see the truth that you're not who I thought you were. You know, again, you try to present yourself as being this just and fair person, that you weren't immature, you weren't prideful, you weren't egotistical, you weren't materialistic, but they are, you know. It's kind of more about them and their ego and being indulged. What's coming up for some shadowy people that they might not see coming up? The Tower, the Knight of Swords, the Tower. Wow. Because of the Ten of Swords. So when people act this way in a workplace, friendships, organizations, family dynamics, romantic relationships, they're always going to have some more high vibrational people around them. And those people didn't want to end the relationship. They were trying, because in the Knight of Swords, which I view as Gemini energy, they had love for those people. And they were trying to offer them love and encouragement to detach from aligning with this unstable foundation of living more from their mind than their heart, and try to get them, whether they're friends or family members. You keep sabotaging yourself by doing these kind of immature things in a relationship. And if I love you and I want to move forward with you in a relationship, I've been trying to get you to see the truth. But again, eventually the high vibe people in their life see that they need to let this go, because it's not going to move forward the way they want. Because the 8 and the 9 and the 10 of Swords is also Gemini energy. Our truth is different. You get all caught up in your head, or all these things that manipulate you. I let love and intuition guide me, but you're so, I don't know, immature, confused, defensive, egotistical, something. It just, they sabotage themselves. And other people are like, I can't keep staying here. And me feeling backstabbed and betrayed too. They might let all these things backstab and betray them, but those things don't backstab and betray me, and those people don't manipulate me like that, and the world doesn't manipulate me like that. And eventually the high vibe people say, I'm leaving. This is not a safe and stable and secure environment like I thought it was going to be. And eventually those people leave. They're done. They've worked through all the mental confusion, all of the reasons why they wanted to stay. And I just can't keep staying in denial of the truth anymore. This person doesn't operate from love. What drives them, motivates them, is themselves, or immaturity, or fear, or insecurity, or greed, self-defensiveness. I wish you peace. I hope it works out for you, but I'm leaving. And some of these people could be kind of shocked, because they know some of these people love them. And they thought, but I've done it before, and you've kind of didn't stand up for yourself. Well, the whole thing is, one day judgment comes. That's like the Tower card. Boom. When is the day where people say, that's it, I'm done? You know, it's like putting up with someone's poor behavior at work. It's like, that's it, you're fired. You know? And it's like, but you always used to indulge me, and then I'd tell you that I was going to stop doing that, and you'd be defensive to letting me go, and then later I do the exact same shit again, and, you know, then I tell you I'm sorry and I want to heal things, and, you know, eventually people say, I'm done. You know? My heart has grown cold. I'm done with the illusion. If you were motivated and inspired to be someone who had good boundaries within yourself and motivated to work together cooperatively in a more just and fair and loving way, you would. And I'm no longer in denial of the truth anymore. This is over. And if some of these people keep acting this way, the same, and they're going to keep having more high vibrational people in their life, friends, family, community members, romantic interests, leave relationships with them. But there always might be other people who are willing to be in a relationship with them, because they went through something that kind of shook their foundation, and they could have felt backstabbed and betrayed. And it's like, oh, look, here's someone else who went through some type of ending and they're moving forward. Maybe I can get in a relationship with them. And if we're both defensive to love and seeing the truth, and we both like to live more from our mind than our heart, and we want to go indulge in these things or make our life about these things that are more important than love, then they found somebody who's on the same page as them. Shadowy, the towers about, I do operate from my more worldly, shadowy nature. And someone else is like, I do too. We should get in a relationship. You don't move forward with anyone else. I won't move forward with anyone else. Let's move forward together in a relationship and create this illusion of how wonderful our life is. And that would be a just and fair relationship. You know, it might not be based on love. It might be all like in living more from the mind than the heart. This makes logical, practical sense. We're both motivated and inspired by the same things. We're both on the same emotional maturity level. We both haven't learned to have good boundaries to ourselves. We both have illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. This is great. And yeah, maybe they'll learn what it's like to be in a relationship with someone like themselves. And maybe that'll be kind of the wake-up call. You know, sometimes I think it's funny when you kind of know people and probably what some of the people in their life have said to them, especially when people are younger, like, you're going out all the time, or you're drinking, or you're blah, 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 you know? And then later, those people kind of get in a relationship with someone, you know, the relationship maybe didn't work out, and someone who's being kind of immature or whatever, then they kind of get in a relationship with someone who's like them, and then those same words are coming out of their mouth to those people. And it's like, gee, I'd like to be a fly on the wall when those words come out of their mouth, and it is this kind of realization like, oh my gosh, that's what people used to say to me. And it is kind of, you know, sometimes you don't realize how your way of being impacts other people or hurts other people until you see someone else doing it, or you're involved with someone else who does that. And it's like, oh, wow. You know, I mean, I used to say things like that to people and tell them to do this and do that and never please, never thank you. And like, it was just expected. And then they get in relationships with other people who do that. It's like, oh my gosh, they're so bossy. It's like, how many times did people tell you you were bossy and rude? But, you know, some people can still keep being defensive. No, 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 I'm not like that. They're like that. It's like, no, you're just like that. But they don't want to see it. So there you go, Sagittarius. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.